Little fine guitar there. I don't mind it. No complaints over here. I feel like it's been a little while since we've been here. A few days, a weekend, maybe a little more.
Yeah, but life happens, you know?
Whoa, easy there. Oh, you didn't... We didn't discuss your thing.
What thing?
You know exactly what I'm talking about. You're pretending not to know.
Maybe sometime this week. We'll figure it out.
You're not ready to discuss your thing?
But don't we have to, like, rearrange the set and stuff?
Well, I mean, we can do that.
Okay.
If that's the type of thing you want to do. If you want to make a really big presentation.
Splash.
Announcement. If you want the people to be waiting with bated breath now that we've teased something or other.
Well, I mean, we could talk about it. I don't know. It's up to you. I don't mind.
I feel like we can't now.
Okay.
After everything you've just done, you've created a scenario where there's some alternate universe, some alternate version of your announcement.
Yeah.
And now anything we do would be a failure by comparison. So we're going to have to wait for this big show you have planned.
Okay.
What will it be, tomorrow?
I don't know.
Wow.
We'll see.
This is a lot for me to handle on a Monday afternoon.
Yeah. But soon. Very soon. If not today.
Wow. We just said a whole lot of nothing, didn't we?
Yeah.
Which is going to happen
They're
from
like,
time
get
to
on
time.
with it.
Well, it's going to happen from time to time because we hit record and we're just a couple of guys in the universe. Anything can happen. You know, we chat about pretty much anything. Sometimes the record button is on. Sometimes it's not on.
Yeah. And I'm adjusting the camera on the fly.
But it doesn't really change much, you know, the way in which we interact. It's just sometimes the camera's on, sometimes it's not on.
Yeah.
Sometimes the headphones are on. Sometimes there's a nice track in the background with the little guitar going on.
But we're here.
Sometimes you're trying to focus. Sometimes
life.
you're trying to focus on my face and not the microphone. Sometimes.
Sometimes I do that.
Sometimes you're doing that.
Well, today's on the face.
I heard a rumor that you're going to pick up a new hobby. Did you hear that yet? Did you hear
That's
that?
what some would say.
Did you hear that rumor?
I haven't decided
You're
yet.
coming on the ice to play hockey.
Yeah.
Did you hear about that?
I don't know how to play hockey, though.
No, I know, but it's a rumor going around.
Yeah.
I didn't start it.
You did. But I don't know. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, listen.
This is the year to try things, right?
Listen, everybody.
Huh?
Give Will some encouragement, please. And tell him he can do anything he sets his mind to. Hey, anything you set your mind to, Will.
I'm old.
Hey. That's rude. How dare you? Apple is reportedly working to simplify Siri's trigger phase. I just said Siri. Yeah, what are they going to do? Get rid of the hey part. I like that next track. You didn't have to turn it off. I'm kind of into that.
Okay.
Get rid of the hey part. Siri is the worst part of iPhone life and the watch. Like, leave me alone already, please. Siri. Siri, you are so terrible. You are so aggravating. And just barely better than useless.
Wow.
I know it sounds harsh because I'm talking, it's like, and I'm putting a name on it, but really it's just whatever their voice tech happens to be. I don't know what's going on. Especially since our next story is going to talk about how much money Apple is worth.
And yet they can't get it right.
How does Google have this so well protected? Like, who are these people that know? Nobody knows, apparently. I guess this technology is so under wraps that everything that's good about Assistant, for whatever reason, has been kept from leaking into Apple's version of Voice Assistant. Because the thing doesn't work for me. I'm going to be just dead honest with you. And I try because I'm a big voice guy. Like, I like the voice interaction.
Sure.
I love to experiment with it. I use it. You know this about me, Will.
Yeah.
And
Assistant is in my life as well. So
easy, Will.
yeah.
That's me adjusting the strap on my Apple Watch, which, if it had Google Assistant, might be an incredible device. It's still pretty good even without it. To be honest, I just turn the Siri stuff off for the most part. Or at least a lot of the triggers for it. Maybe, though, this new adjustment, maybe this simplification of the way you trigger it, maybe this is part of
it won't.
Hey, man, I was trying to be optimistic here. I was saying it will be a renewed focus where they're going to nail this thing and it's going to get competitive with Assistant. Maybe this is the first step in doing so. I mean, maybe it'll take time. Probably it'll take time. It turns out this stuff is complicated. Mark Gurman is the one who reported this. The company's reportedly spent the past few months training the digital assistant to respond to just Siri instead of the Hey version of it, which, Hey Siri. See, I wasn't going to do it, and then I did it. Well, I wasn't going to do it, and I did it. On the surface, it's a simple change, but one that Gurman says involves a significant amount of AI training and underlying engineering work. But like, obviously, now we're going to trigger it even more. It's already triggering accidentally somehow. I mean, I'm sure there's all kinds of other things that sound like Siri, like Sirius. I don't know what else. Probably some different names that are close to it.
Yeah.
Like Miri.
Sarah?
Miriam. Is that a name? Miriam?
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe the short form is like Miri. Did you say Sarah? I don't know if that's close enough. Maybe. I don't know how good this,
But why can't, see, that's the thing about assistants. Why can't you can name it whatever you want. Why does it have to be Siri or Google?
You want to name it whatever you want. Well, what's your perfect name then, sir? Yeah.
Jeeves.
Ask Jeeves.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever happened to Jeeves, the old pal Jeeves.
Yeah, I don't mind that.
That's who you're looking for. You're rekindle with old Jeeves there. The change would make it easier to string together multiple commands one after another. Critically, it would help Apple catch up with Amazon and Google, which offer digital assistants with more robust capabilities. Well, we already know that. On Google, you can do back-to-back commands, which they continue to enhance this thing. They want it to be natural language. Like they're working on, in some cases, no trigger phrase at all. So that's the level to which they're ahead on it. I just, you know what? I like options and I like to see success in technology and like cool things to develop. And I certainly like a more integrated or organic experience with tech because every time you open your phone and stare at it, it's drawing you into this vortex of pain and suffering. And of course, I'm talking about all the different clicks you're about to make as this onslaught is attacking your short-term memory and your attention and whatever else. And so, like, one of the ways in which to change your relationship with these devices is by them staying in the pocket and interacting. And obviously, there's arguments against. You're like, well, they're listening all the time. They're listening to you. Imagine what might happen. They're listening to you. And I'm like, look, I hear you, man, but I'm going day to day over here. And this stuff is helpful to keep sometimes tech a little bit more in the background, which is something I want in some circumstances.
Yeah.
And so hopefully they can offer something similar on the iOS side to what we've been experiencing on the Google side of things. But speaking of their ability to do so, Apple is now worth more than Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta combined. So what are your excuses? Got all this cash. Will.
So crazy.
Yahoo Finance's Brian Sozzi breaks down the stat of the day on Apple's $2.3 trillion valuation. It's shocking when you think about it. Yeah, sure. Apple finished Wednesday's session with a 2.31 trillion market cap. Imagine 2 million. According to Yahoo Finance data, Alphabet, Amazon, and Meta were worth a combined 2.3 trillion. Well, what's helpful here is all the value that came off Meta specific. Oh, there you go. Meta's meltdown, of course, this year helping to drive that underperformance there. Big Apple is the winner. Yeah. Well, listen. Huge value generation, huge profit margins, cash reserves, Jimmy Cooks, You ever listen to that track, Will?
Jimmy Crack Corn?
No, the Drake song, Jimmy Cooks. You never listened to it?
Not lately. I don't remember, actually.
No, I think it's off the latest record, actually. You got 21 Savage in there as well. They put out a video for it recently.
Oh. Yeah, I don't remember.
Anyway, I said Timmy Cooks, so it brought me to Jimmy Cooks. I'm like, I don't think that there's an inspiration or a connection there. But Timmy Cooks, you know what I'm saying?
That's, okay, yeah.
Timmy.
I'm on board.
Timmy Cooks. I mean, or maybe he bakes.
I feel like he's a baker.
He might bake because we are talking about apples.
Some apple pie?
Not oranges, because you rarely bake an orange. But apples, you bake them all the time.
Yeah.
I don't even know if you've ever baked an orange.
I
I
don't
think about it.
recall.
Baking an orange?
Yeah.
What do you normally do with it? Yeah.
I mean, you eat it.
Just straight
regular.
up? You don't do anything fancy with it?
Sometimes I juice it.
Okay. So,
Getting a little fancier.
you know what I think? Let me tell
There's
you.
not much you can do with
Let
an
me
orange,
tell you where
really.
orange is underutilized. I'm going to tell you right now where orange is underutilized.
Okay.
Ice cream. There should be more orange-infused ice creams. Those two flavors together, delicious. You have a little citrus, but obviously sweetness, and the freshness of orange to go with the creaminess of ice cream.
Yeah.
I'm just putting that out there. I'm sure it exists, but I'm like, I go through the supermarket, I pay attention, I see what's going on. I don't see a lot of connection happening
Well,
there.
don't they have the orange sickles?
Well, of course they have the orange sickle, but nobody ever went high end with it. Ben didn't do it. Jerry didn't do it.
No, they both didn't.
Hagen
didn't combine.
didn't do it, and Dawes didn't do it.
No.
It's 4 guys.
Maybe you.
Baskin didn't do it, and Robin didn't do it.
No.
Derry didn't do it, and Queen didn't do it. No, what am I doing? Listen to me for a second here, Will. I need a high end. I need an artisan. I need actual tiny little orange pieces in there.
They're good with chocolate too, right?
Yeah, of course it's going to be good with chocolate as well.
Yeah, why not chocolate ice cream
Oh,
with orange?
Well, that might be a full chocolate ice cream might be a bit much, but maybe you could have some dark chocolate bits in there.
Sure.
I'm just putting this together right now, so it's all freestyle. But I obviously the internet is going to show us something. I don't want a sherbet. I don't want a sherbet.
You need the cream.
I don't want a sherbet. You understand? So for everybody who was just screaming, listening to this, and they were saying, well, Lou, you got an orange sherbet. I'm not talking to you guys. I'm talking about.
They are good though.
I'm talking about orange and cream. You understand the difference? This is key. We're going to figure it out, don't worry.
Okay.
We need the heavy hitter. We need the full cream. We need the cardiac arrest, sir.
Yeah.
It's so thick you can't get the scoop going. It's too cold.
Do you have anything else to say about this Apple owning everything?
No, I mean, it's a big deal. Yeah, these things, they go up and down. Apple's the biggest market cap in the world. And one day, the next day, they're not. Meta, yeah. Alphabet has a crack, and Amazon has a crack at different moments in time, depending how people feel. I always think it's funny when you think about these big companies. You're like, okay, you got a -1, for you in your lifestyle. That's, I think, if you have to -1, it's easy.
Yeah.
The second one gets harder, and the third one is nearly impossible if you try to eliminate 3 of them.
Yeah. Man, I mean, even Meta owning WhatsApp. I use WhatsApp all the time.
And Instagram.
Instagram, yeah.
And Quest and whatever else. Go ahead. I want you to only leave one of you could only have one of these companies left to aid you in your various daily activities.
Well, I don't use Apple that much, actually.
Okay, so
Right.
you eliminate Apple. Who else do you eliminate? Keep going. You're only gonna have one left.
Probably Meta.
Meta's gone. Now all that's left is Amazon, Alphabet, and you can only have one.
Alphabet.
Yeah,
I'll
because
use Alphabet.
well, it's also because you eliminated
Google.
Apple. So now what's your phone?
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, you kind of got to go one way or the other right there. But Apple without Amazon and Alphabet, that's a different experience too. I mean, which search engine are you using on Apple? Or are you giving up YouTube because that's an Alphabet company or a Google company? It's a tough one.
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, I'm keeping Alphabet as well. I
That's
think
your number one?
Well, I think you might not realize, Will, but we're posting this video on YouTube.
Yeah. Okay. That's wasn't that funny, was it?
It's just like what? It's just like how.
These conglomerates.
No, but it's just like it's so far-reaching. It's just It's funny. You come to you're like, wait a second. Our entire livelihood
Yeah,
is on Alphabet. What are we doing here? Like our entire life is on Alphabet. Like this is
I'm just thinking about my Google Pixel phone.
I know that's
Oh,
where you
it's,
went with it, but it's like that's the extent to which you don't think about the full scope of the
Sure.
things. It would be annoying, obviously, to have to pick one of these companies, but yeah, that's a no-brainer for me and you. It's a non-starter. Today's sponsor, Uncommon Goods. I'm thinking this could be a good spot to go to buy a gift this holiday season for somebody who's tough to find a gift for. Somebody who, just nothing comes to mind quickly and you're like, man, I need to navigate. I need to find something unique. Well, here on Uncommon Goods, it's full of items like that. You can see all types of unique items listed here, customizable in some cases as well. So it's completely specific to the person that you're getting it for. Like take, for example, custom song wall art, which is customizable to a particular waveform of a particular song. You can see 32 reviews. People love this one. And it's beautiful to look at with all the different wood and whatnot going on. A lot of this stuff is made right in the US. So there's all types of unique things to look at. Look at the coastal serving board, which it looks like a wave interacting with the wood tray. You could put something fine on top of there, Will, and you could host a type of event. If
some cheese.
I could get you something like this for Christmas. Next thing you know,
Love it.
there's a big party going down at your place. What's that thing over on the right over there? Go scroll down a little bit. Construction plate with utensils. Oh, that's fun. Fun for the whole family. You see that? So now eating waffles and blueberries and stuff. Hey, man, don't laugh. When you got kids, you got to come with the creative ideas, Will.
Yeah. Finally, I can play with this set.
And actually,
eat
that
my
was the one
food.
I was talking about right there. It's like a geography world map, coloring tablecloth. That would be.
Look at that.
And you learn about the world at the same time with the geography. I love it when it's doing the doing the two things at once. You think you're just coloring, but then you're learning.
The combo pack.
In the long run, I'm into the geography. What can I say? So it's all types of things. Honestly, it's obviously way too many to go through. But if you're looking to pick up something unique this holiday season, go check out Uncommon Goods.
From art and jewelry to kitchen, home, and bar, Uncommon Goods has something for everyone. Uncommon Goods look for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the US. And with every purchase you make, they give back $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $2.5 million to date. To get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/LouLater. That's uncommongoods.com/LouLater for 50% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods. We're all out of the ordinary.
We're also sponsored by HelloFresh, saving you time, saving you money, and also helping you eat healthier than you might do otherwise. Definitely stress. This is ready to go. It shows up at your front door. All you have to do is put it together. I've told you about it before. And in many cases, you end up approaching dishes that you might not approach otherwise if you had to kind of go to the supermarket and piece it together yourself. It might seem, like too much. Like, I got a lot riding on this dinner. I need to know it's going to be something good. Well, with, a track record. Well, guess what? The stuff over here, it's got the track record. In fact, some of it you can see would be picked as fan favorites. You could make a sesame crusted salmon. You didn't think you could do it. You could do a turkey taco. You didn't know you could do a turkey taco, but you can. A pork and apple burger, pork and pepper tacos, beef taquitos, best recipes of 2022. You browse around, you get hungry.
Yes.
But then you put it together yourself. And you know what happens when you put it together yourself? You see all the ingredients, you see what goes into it, and not the stuff you don't see, because you see it all right there. In some cases, these things are put together in 30 minutes. In some cases, they're put together even faster. You can pick based on the difficulty level, or you can pick based on the deliciousness or your perception of deliciousness based on the dish. This is easy stuff. Go get your HelloFresh.
Save money on dinner with HelloFresh and put it towards your holiday shopping. HelloFresh is cheaper than grocery shopping and 25% less expensive than takeout. With over 35 weekly recipes, there's something to please everyone. You can also easily customize your recipes by swapping proteins or sides, upgrading to choice proteins, or even adding protein to a veggie meal. The choice is up to you. I decided to go with something a little light, so I went with the Greek-style lemon chicken. It was really fast to make, and the recipe was straightforward. Overall, it was hearty and a healthy meal. Go to hellofresh.com/LouLater65 and use code LouLater65 for 65% off plus free shipping. That's hellofresh.com/LouLater65 and use the code LouLater65 for 65% off plus free shipping. Thank you to HelloFresh.
Apple's AR glasses could be pushed back to 2025 or 2026 amid design issues, says analyst. Who is it? Ming Chi? Who do you got? Who's your analyst today, Will? Oh, it's Jeff Pu, an analyst at Haitong International Tech Research. Tech giants' augmented and virtual reality moves are being closely monitored, with Apple reportedly working on an AR/VR standalone headset and AR glasses for everyday wear. In a note reported by PC Mag earlier this year, Pu said that the glasses would be announced in late 2024. However, he now believes that they will debut later than that. We now expect AR Glass to be postponed to 2025, 2026 due to design issues. Good Lord. They just keep putting years, but you don't realize the time frame. You go, you know what? That little earpiece, ear hook that goes around on the glass, it's not perfect. We got to redo it. They're like, redo it. They're like, from the ground up, we got to redo it. They're like, well, that's new design, new molds, new materials, new mock-ups. And they're like, well, that's a year in some cases. That's a whole year. So it's, but it does seem with this particular product, we've talked now a number of times about sliding dates for anticipating a release or an announcement. But I guess they want to do it right. It's a tough nut to crack, and especially for the Apple customer. Now, I know this initial AR/VR thing might be not even targeted at the typical customer, but they haven't, in most cases, rushed to be the first in a segment. Instead, when they've gone to that segment, they've wanted to do it in a very specific way.
Sure.
So I can't say I'm surprised by a possible delay over here. And also, here's the other thing. What do you do inside of Apple's AR/VR space? What do you do in there? Their thing hasn't traditionally been gaming all that. What am I doing in there? And maybe this is where Zuckerberg's paranoia around this philosophical war that's about to take place. Maybe there's some knowledge there of an actual virtual space that will exist and be proprietary. So if that's the case, then you can easily understand 2026 building all that.
Yeah. It just makes me also think that, like, if it's taking them this long to make AR headsets, like, what about the Apple car? Well,
you go back to the car. Are you foreshadowing your announcement?
No.
It feels like a foreshadow right there. Well, I'll leave it right there. Yeah, yes, Will. That's an entirely new product category. They're hiring people from Tesla, firing people that they hired from Tesla. Like, you never know what they're doing. They're so secretive, right? Nothing. Like, obviously, the phones and stuff leak in 2022 because they're being assembled at scale. So they're preparing to ship millions of them. So, yeah, there's a lot more exposure. But in their truly secretive projects that are happening in California, it's tough to get information.
Yeah.
You get analysts and insiders and whatever else. But Elon Musk's response to fake verified Elon Twitter accounts, a new permanent ban policy for impersonators. I saw this. So he came out and said, I mean, obviously he loves this verification idea, the paid checkmark idea. He's digging into it. It was $8, this and that. Then he went on Twitter and said, going forward, any Twitter handles engaging in impersonation without clearly specifying parody will be permanently suspended. In order to kind of, I suppose, dig even deeper into this idea that verification is, I mean, maybe not mandatory, but like significant. He promised Twitter would bring power to the people by offering verification to anyone willing to pay $8 for a subscription. Now, what happened was you had multiple people that had verified accounts that decided to just change their name to Elon Musk, see what happened.
Yeah. Not even their handle. So like Elon Musk.
No, not the handle.
_
Well, he followed
86.
up his initial tweet and said, any name change at all will cause temporary loss of a verified checkmark. But that's different than a suspension.
Yeah.
What these people did was already had verified accounts. It was Kathy Griffin and H3 were the two that I saw.
Sarah Silverman.
Oh, Sarah Silverman as well. And so they thought, oh, this is an opportunity to have a funny moment here where we can change our name to Elon Musk, start tweeting things out. And then people started to say, hey, Elon, a little bit sensitive, because they said maybe this is humor. But then he laid the law down with the immediate suspensions. Well, he says permanent suspensions, which I find that hard to believe. I mean, this could easily be a slap on the wrist for these comedian-style accounts. Now, maybe it will be. I don't know how much human review is involved or if this is automatically detected. And then the ban or suspension is initiated, then it gets reviewed by a human. I don't know. But here is the language. If we believe you may be in violation of this policy, we may require you to provide government-issued identification, such as a driver's license or passport, in order to reinstate your account. This is if you're not the person you're claiming to be with your checkmark, I suppose. And then the permanent suspension, if you're engaged in impersonation or are using a misleading or deceptive fake identity, we may permanently suspend your account. We may permanently. I don't think those accounts that are currently suspended are going to be permanently suspended. I'd be very surprised if that was the case. They are suspended at this moment right now, for the record.
Yeah.
And what, I don't know what the tweets looked like, but I saw a couple from H3 which were... They were cracking jokes about Elon, like as things Elon would say. Do you understand what I'm saying here? Like making outlandish claims, Jeffrey Epstein and things like this, which I guess that's humorous. However, when you see some people posted what their notification looked like, it actually looks like it's coming from Elon Musk because you don't see the username.
Right.
You see the name of the checkmark. Now, maybe that's a problem with the app. The app doesn't highlight or emphasize the actual handle.
Maybe it's like a UI thing that they need to figure
The app is actually terrible at dealing with this, and that's Twitter's problem. Like, why would you emphasize the name you're calling yourself instead of the actual handle, which has been granted the verification? I guess some people have handles that aren't related to their name.
Like an old handle?
Like an old handle or something. But in those cases, I think you still, as far as a notification goes, the handle should be in there somewhere. Even if you want to have the name and the check mark, the handle has to be in there too, so that people can discern the difference.
Yeah, I agree.
But there's all kinds of ways that this can be dealt with. As it stands at the moment, I think it's not the best look for Elon, because it's like, well, these are high-profile people. impersonating him specifically and not someone else. Now, I'm just going to go full circle on it and say, we've all dealt with impersonators. Maybe not all of us, but people who do things on the internet professionally. You're going to have impersonators, and those impersonators, they screw people over. It happens on the daily basis. So it is fun to make a joke about it, but it also is a real thing at the same time. Elon specifically, all the crypto-related scams and everything, people got by those scams. And I suppose you could say the same about scams everywhere all the time, but as a person who receives emails of the people who are being scammed, I'm like, it would be nice if there was an easy way to get rid of this, because you report it and currently nothing happens. You go, this person's impersonating. Exactly, and nothing happens. And in those cases, they don't have a check mark to go with it, but they're still successful in scamming some people.
Yeah. And
even you have a history, because you really got pissed off with one person impersonating you. Like, you got more pissed off than I do.
It's just the fact that I couldn't, no matter what I did, because I wasn't verified, I had to really talk to other people that were verified to help me with my cause.
It was so much work.
The support system on Twitter was terrible at the time.
But did you actually achieve it in the long run?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah. It took like a year almost.
Yeah.
For this one person that was persistent as far as the impersonation, and it's like
they got over 7,000 followers.
Yeah, I know it's constantly ongoing, and in that case, there really wasn't a comedic element at all. It was just straight up impersonation for who knows what, like really trying to be you on the internet without any jokes thrown into it. So it's a tough subject. Obviously, it's a huge area of focus right now, and it's a huge part of the discussion as far as the takeover at Twitter is concerned.
Yeah,
I think those accounts are going to come back, but in the meantime, it's, you got all your top Twitter trends and everybody's talking about, see, Elon, no sense of humor, banning, you said you weren't banning, free speech, and I'm sure those accounts are going to come back. I'd be shocked if those accounts don't come back. Elon Musk delays $8 blue check Twitter verification plan until after the midterms. That's interesting. Wonder what that has to do with it. Twitter is delaying the rollout of the account verifications for its paid Twitter Blue subscription plan until after the midterm elections. The decision to push back the new feature comes one day after the platform launched an updated version of its iOS app that promises to allow users who pay a monthly subscription fee to get a blue check mark on their profiles, a feature that Elon Musk has proposed as a way to fight spam on the platform. The app's latest update was outlined on Apple's App Store, stating that users will now have to pay $7.99 a month for companies' Twitter Blue verification feature, just like the celebrities, companies, and politicians you already follow. The checkmark has long been used to confirm the authenticity of government officials, prominent figures, and journalists. Midterm elections, you have a bunch of new imposters prior to the election
that on the just pay,
but that are finding loopholes or little hacks in order to sort of leverage or influence.
Yeah.
Is this the election? Okay. Yeah. Maybe hold off on rolling it out, because that's coming up, right? When are these elections? It's this week. So I don't think that's delaying it too much. November 8th.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah.
Or today at this point.
When you're watching this, it's today. Yeah. So anyway, that makes sense. That's not much of a delay anyways, and maybe they can hash it out. But I think it's going to be problems. It's going to be all types of problems. Like, I just... there's a funny thing here where it's like, okay, you have...
Too many problems?
Well, you have the car, right? You're Elon, you have the car. And you can kind of... You're making a product that's encapsulated. It's a physical item that you ship to somebody else. And then, there's software and software updates. And I'm sure there's people that try to hack it. And obviously there's people that try to hack the software on Teslas and do all kinds of funky stuff. But the Twitter thing and the level of influence and its ability to kind of shape things and alter realities when you have the mentality of working really quickly and shipping things, this is a perfect example of how sensitive big changes to the platform, new opportunities, and you just realize the scope of what you're dealing with and how it is different than shipping a physical product.
Yeah.
When you say, oh, we're going to delay that $8 blue checkmark thing until after the midterms, when you start thinking about a brand new feature on Twitter coming out a day before the midterms, you start saying, wait, how could people exploit it?
Yeah.
And how could that alter our actual reality, which doesn't exist on Twitter? Mm-hmm. And of course, this is a whole conversation around regulation and everything else. And it's just, there's levels of complexity in the types of products that are offered out there and the consequences of changing those things. And social media is one of those really ugly and messy ones.
Because it ties into politics as well. It's just not strictly engineering.
But yeah, just how humans perceive reality.
Yeah.
I saw Dorsey and him going back and forth. Mm-hmm. Dorsey's got stuff to say about it now as well. And listen, everything's complicated. Electric cars are complicated. Other stuff that Elon does is complicated, rockets and so forth. But
those problems seem very engineering. Like,
well, they're more private. They're
not social problems
inside of the company. And well, there is
a social
aspect of it inside of a company. But this is like tools you can update quickly in some cases and then hand them to the general public all at once. Goes, let's see what you do here. It's just a bit different. And it's, yeah, man, social media. Yeah. Good luck.
Social media.
Good luck. No, Tesla Cybertruck production is not being further delayed. Oh, okay. That's an interesting headline. I thought for sure it was going to be further delayed, and who knows, it might very well be at some time soon. Reports of Tesla Cybertruck production being delayed again are coming out, but these are based on a weak and confusing report. Well, I don't even know the delay anymore. I don't even know where we're at anymore. It was unveiled in 2019. 2019.
Yeah. And you still have your pre-order?
I guess so. Sometimes I forget about it. I see it in my Tesla app, and I'm like,
oh, wait, yeah.
There's a picture of a truck in there.
Yeah.
CEO Elon Musk later said that Tesla was targeting a start of production for the electric pickup truck in late 2022 at Gigafactory, Texas, with the focus clearly on bringing the Model Y to production at that factory and that being delayed as well. It appeared likely that the Cybertruck production timeline could also slip. In March 2022, it was confirmed that Tesla aims to complete Cybertruck development this year for production in 2023. And in June, Musk said that Tesla is aiming at production to start in mid-2023. In its communications, Tesla has stuck to a mid-2023 timeline over the last few months, and it is starting to become more real than just words. Actual production equipment coming into Gigafactory, Texas. Yeah, well, I would love to see it sooner than later, obviously. Mass production is probably a bit different than the beginning of production, I would assume. All types of tooling and arrangements and training and things like this on the assembly line. But it has been a long time at this point. I mean, you're talking about production starting in 2023. You presumably have orders from 2019 that people are getting in 2024, 2025.
Yeah.
But I'm glad. I'm going to go with the headline. I'm going to just agree with it because it feels better. I'm going to say, I'm going to be on the optimistic front here and hope that it isn't being pushed any further than it already is.
All right, last one.
DVLA brings its sci-fi design aesthetics to a $790 portable speaker. That's cool. You know, I've a very well-viewed video on YouTube interacting with a previous DVLA product, which is I guess it's portable still, but far less portable than what you just showed me. The original DVLA speaker, more of like a tabletop type of thing, or you could put it on a stand, which they also sold. I unboxed the Gold Phantom, and then I unboxed a smaller version at a later date. The thing is so cool to watch. It's kind of like a little alien coming out of the box. With these giant woofers on the side. They're vibrating and extending. What a video. Yeah, what a time. When was that posted? 5 years ago? Wild stuff. Look at that thing go. It's crazy the amount of power that comes out of something that you can kind of just hold up, just a single speaker unit. At the time, I mean, we're talking about one of the nicest wireless audio experiences possible. I mean, still even to this day. And the package, just look at me, you hear how loud that thing.
Oh, man. This is a good time.
This is an amazing product that they put together, especially 5 years ago. And I mean, really perfectly suited for an unboxing experience, for like an unbox therapy video, like the surprise of it. I didn't know what to expect. I mean, I knew it was an expensive speaker, but then to have it on the desk and like, whoa. Anyway, so they came out with a slightly smaller version, but it was still kind of meant to live on a desktop somewhere.
Oh yeah, you're talking about the like the mini version?
Yeah, I don't remember what they called it. It was the Reactor. Still a Phantom product, but the Reactor. And it was just it was almost a replica, but just miniaturized a little bit. Mm-hmm. Still not targeted at the portable market. Now, this new one you're looking at here has a handle on it, so it's definitely targeted at the portable.
Looks like a kettlebell.
It does. Maybe you could use it for that as well, although it seems even at $800, probably not. Yeah. So it's more affordable and more portable, still not really affordable. The DVLA Mania has built-in Alexa. It looks like it also has AirPlay. And what else? The Mania includes 4 full-range drivers and 2 subwoofers, which DVLA says offers 360-degree sound. Perhaps more interesting is how the speaker adjusts. I just figured out, by the way, that there's a button. There's a spare button for some reason in the back of this hoodie. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me since it doesn't have buttons itself. Do you have any idea why that might be there?
A button?
Yeah, like a button, like a literal button.
And there's no buttons around?
Is pinned back there. Am I crazy? Is that a button? It's definitely a button.
Is it?
Yeah. I don't know. I'll inspect it at a later date, but...
The mystery.
It's a mystery button back there. I don't know. Maybe there's a button on here somewhere. I don't know. Maybe what am I supposed to do? Roll up the sleeves and button them up? Get buttoned down? Button up, button down?
Maybe.
This thing looks cool. Is that a charging stand? Oh, there's an optional $100 charging stand. I mean, not like you spent $800. And a USB-C port for charging as well, if you prefer. In terms of connectivity, the speaker supports both Wi-Fi and Bluetooth streaming protocols, including AirPlay 2 and Spotify Connect. Built-in Alexa for voice commands and an IPX floor rating for dust and water resistance, which should mean it'll survive a light splash of water. Don't dunk it. No dunk. No dunk zone. It's going to go on sale today, starting at $790. But if it sounds anywhere near as good as the company's recently released soundbar, then it could go some way toward justifying this hefty premium. I mean, everything they've ever released sounds good. I'm just going to tell you that right now. So I probably wouldn't worry about that. I mean, it might not have the same room filling capability as, the $3,000 Phantom.
But you also pay for the actual brand and the look.
Yeah, I mean, the design is nice here, the aesthetic. But I'm just saying, I don't think they're going to put their badge on something that doesn't sound good. So I have high hopes for it, and it could be the perfect premium portable speaker for some people that have a hefty enough budget. Because they do fun stuff, there's no doubt. The DVLA Mania, metamorphic sound, look at it, dance moves and stuff. They're having a time over there.
Yeah.
I wonder how many people bought these products after watching that initial video I put out. How many views does it have? It has 19 million views. Wow.
It was a good time.
It's just a crazy thought.
It was fun.
Because I look at their website, I'm like, this company came a long way.
Yeah.
In the 5 years since it was featured on the show. It's like, I mean, I don't want to take too much credit here, but I'm just saying that's a crazy relationship. Like, I remember this brand, like, you didn't... It was very niche at the time. And I bet you these things are in all kinds of premium environments at this point. And now that time has passed. And
Yeah, all because of you.
people have experienced. Well, also because people have experienced it. I bet.
Yeah.
Right? Because it's a kind of thing that if you go to your friend's place and you listen to it, you're like, that sound came out of that. You're.
It's almost unreal.
It's like
And now they
it's
have
like
stores.
The word of mouth is just so obvious and easy. It's like,
Yeah.
oh wow, what is that thing? Like it has a natural what is that thing aspect to
Yeah.
it. Whether it's in a video, or whether it's in a store, or whether it's in somebody else's house, or whatever it happens to be. So, but you know, the other reason I say that, Will, is because the video has 19 million views, but so many people ripped it, shortened it. I saw it coming up in ads on Instagram that I had nothing to do with. It was a bizarre time.
Yeah.
And but anyway, shout out to DVLA, still doing it, and be cool to check out their latest product. Thank you to everybody that joined here today. Appreciate it, and I think we're gonna have another one for you soon. So,
All right.
see you then. Later.